Hey everyone, so I have my camera back after falling into a prairie dog hole about a month ago. I have camera back together, which means I can now start to film wildlife and get that kind of footage. And now that I have the camera back, I've been kind of pondering on how I want to structure a lot of this channel. And what I kind of decided is that I want to merge a couple of the worlds that this channel's been exploring, where, you know, I've been getting all these wildlife videos and putting out documentaries, and well, I'll still do that. There's all sorts of footage that I end up capturing that just doesn't find its way onto YouTube at the moment, because they're kind of like these random isolated incidents that don't really themselves make up, you know, a whole video that I can kind of make a documentary or these kind of short videos on. And so I'm going to kind of combine a couple of these video sources. I'm going to be doing these videos of me, you know, wandering around, finding everything amazing, but also explore the wildlife in the area with you all, right? Take the camera and film wildlife and use my cell phone to film me filming the wildlife, and you guys can explore and see some of these animals with me as I wander around these beautiful landscapes, both in my off times and once I start the wildlife work again out where I find myself. So look forward to the new stage of this. I think it's gonna be really fun. I really love exploring little alcoves like this. There's kind of these fallen logs and bits of sticks on the ground, and these kind of clear areas inside the trees, because there will very often be a lot of wildlife sign, tracks and scats and all sorts of things in these kinds of open spaces in the trees. So hoping I can spot some stuff while I'm out here. So on this game trail down here, we have lots and lots of deer tracks. You can see the little paired sharp points in the mud here. Another track over there. Just all sorts of deer just walking through this trail. Looks like cows as well. See that kind of really big hoof print there. And often when you're tracking in the mud, you'll see little slip marks. So as a deer put its foot down over here, deer slipped down into the ground. Then kept moving forward down through this trail that ran through the middle here. It's funny, I'm kind of surprised by how little wildlife I've seen so far. There's a lot of deer tracks and stuff like that, which is, you know, I wouldn't particularly expect to see them until evening, but there are so many just great trees up here, and there's been surprisingly few birds. I think I've seen maybe just like one or two in this whole time, and there's just out of the corner of my eye. So really surprising lack of activity so far. We'll see if that continues, but I think with wildlife filming and searching for wildlife in general, you just have to kind of be patient and wait it out, and keep walking around and see what you can uncover. Look at these boots. It's like all these leaves and mud stuck to them. That's funny. On the plus side, this is really, really pretty. Just look at that. Just say I white-tailed deer running up in that direction, so I'm gonna go see if it's around. I think the deer this time of year are a little extra skittish. You know, they're skittish at the best of times, but particularly when it's right in the middle of hunting season, they hear people and they tend to run off. But we'll see what we can see. Well, no deer, but got some really fun footage of a few chickadees flooding around from branch to branch, singing. Really, really, really nice birds. It may not be super wildlife dense so far, but I'm loving how beautiful the landscape is out here. Just these gorgeous, gorgeous trees all around. I've been having some chickadees recently too, so getting some footage. Some Canada geese. I love how gorgeous this river is. Just look at this depth of blue out there. Just this amazing, amazing color. And you can hear a red-tailed hawk in the background. Quintessential Western bird. Love it. So we got a really nice red tail out there. Pretty fun petting around, following it. I'm really hoping in some of the water here we can find some various critters, possibly like on the opposite bank. I think I'm just gonna sit out at the spot for a little while and see what I can see. Have deer show up the shores in the woods behind me. So we'll see. Well, that was really, really cool. Just a beautiful, beautiful flock of Canada geese flying over the river there. Some really, really nice formations and super low to the ground and really well lit. That was awesome. I love those moments. There's really something to be said for exploring. Just walking around out here and living moment to moment and not having any expectations for what I'm going to see out here. Not, you know, deciding that this trip is going to be a failure if I don't see a deer that's standing still, right? That if I don't see a raccoon or a badger or some other number of critters, that this trip is suddenly a failure. I think, you know, when I'm out filming these places, there's every bit as much value in just experiencing the beauty and majesty of the place. And I think that when I do that, I then am better able to not only experience it, but see the place and notice the beauty that's here. And I think as a consequence, there's so much value in just appreciating the moment and allowing what's there to show itself and to appreciate stumbling upon it. I think it just makes all the better videos. I think I'm just gonna sit by this, I don't know if it's like a river or just like a branch of something, but whatever it is, I'll call it a river, even though technically I think it's a little small for that. I think for a little while I'm just gonna sit here, and it's so beautiful, just like all of these yellows against the blue of the water and the blue of the sky. It's just so spectacular. And I'm gonna wait a little while to see if I can spot any wildlife up on the bank or something like that. And if not, just really enjoy a few moments of gorgeous eastern Montana. All right, well, it's late enough in the day that I think what I'm gonna do is sit down on this little log here, and for the next maybe hour and a bit, just kind of sit around and see whether any deer or other critters just kind of come out of the tree line when it's more quiet. Yeah, let's see if I can film some creatures. All right, so not much in the way of wildlife, but honestly, it's been just such an unbelievably beautiful day. I'm just so stoked to have gone out here and got to film some beautiful landscapes and get some really, really nice wildlife footage, and all in all, just unbelievably enjoyable. You know, these are literally the woods that I grew up in as a kid, and so spending time wandering through these trees and just running around and finding and exploring and, you know, just seeing things that help inspire the sense of wonder that I'm sharing with all of you. And I'm just really glad to have gone out here and invited you into this world that I have, and hopefully help you explore some of the remarkable components of the world and see if you can find in your own lives ways to create that sense of wonder and see the beauty in the seemingly ordinary. So with that said, I'm gonna hike back. If you haven't, please subscribe. I'd love your company, and until next time, wander in wonder.